get that started. Okay. And we're going to do chapter 2 and 3. So I'm a little behind because I told you I was going to do a chapter every Wednesday. So every Wednesday, y'all come back around 7:47 and get your dose of story time. Again, we're reading the novel My Husband's Girlfriend, and we're doing chapter 2 and 3 tonight. Okay, so chapter 1 was about Anaya, which is the wife. Now, chapter 2 will be about Neil, which is the husband. Okay, so here we go, guys. So when my son was first born, I stared at him like he was a newly discovered treasure, and he was. I love my daughter, Reese, but fathering a son makes me feel like I'm done something right for a change. Now I'm not so stupid that I think having a son redeems me from my sins, but his birth was the most positive thing that's happened in a long time. So many stressful events have gone down. Sometimes I feel like I'm living someone else's life and I've been looking through their window. If anyone would have told me that I'll be skanking it up with a young project secretary and we'll eventually have a baby together, no way I believe it. But sometimes instead of watching a movie, your life becomes the movie. And here I am, 36 years old, graduated from high school at age 16, supposedly intelligent MBA from UT Austin, gainfully employed, 14 years experience at Texas Medical Center, putting in six figures a year, a member of a well-known church called Solomon's Temple, and I have so much announcements. I fear being around firearms, butcher knives, or large skillets. Things that are already dangerous look more menacing. So everything around me becomes suspect, even if I don't want it to be. Overall, Anaya seems to be holding up well. She hasn't said a lot lately. When she's not rearing our daughter, she stays busy vacuuming, dusting, Windexing, cooking, washing, and folding clothes, and even doing gardening. And she hates getting her hands dirty. But I know my wife. She only cleans when she's livid. She takes to a broom when she's upset. All nervous energy. It's either clean or strained. And I'd rather come home to a spotless house than a woman who has her mouth wide open and shouting profanities as loud as she can. Don't get me wrong, our getting into it doesn't happen every day, but it happens enough for me to detect that thick level of tension inside our home. At first, I wanted to run from my problems, just up and leave Anaya, quit my job, start all over again. Maybe in Atlanta or someplace where there's so many people that I'll feel invisible. But I've decided to stick around. I want to be a man, not turn into a loser who takes to a bottle 7 days a week, crying in my beer, and living inside my pain. Call me idealistic, but I also want to be a good father to my precious new son and try to balance things with Danielle in a civilized manner. What helps me cope is the fact that Danny is so chilly, so cool. She's sweet, smart, and most important, she'll kiss but won't tell. When she got pregnant and started wearing maternity clothes to work, well, she works with him at work. I told her I could act happy for her, but she should expect more than that. I could play the concerned coworker role around the office, but no, I didn't want my supervisor or colleagues to know that I was the daddy. That would be suicide without the gun. And I was relieved when Danielle said, "Sure, no problem." She never hemmed me up for money, didn't ask for a, a commitment. She also never begged for much of anything. Being there when our son was born was the least I could do. Plus, I am proud of him. He's a healthy, attractive little tyke. My mini me. I can't abandon him. Now, as far as still having sex with Danielle, who knows what's gonna happen? Could recent events inspire my wife's sex drive that she's willing to do what I want when I want? After everything that's gone down, I can't picture Anaya rushing to dive under the covers with me now. We'll just have to wait and see how things turn out on the end. Lord knows I have too much to deal with to be worried about every single detail of me, Vida Loca. 2 nights after my son is born, my wife and I have the house to ourselves. They asked if she can go hang out at a mall. I toss her the keys to my SUV and tell her to have a good time. I also do, she says. Then actually thanks for for the keys, which is a shocker. After Vet leaves, I call Anaya into our library. It's the most peaceful room in the house. Hundreds of books lining the shelves from floor to ceiling. There is no TV or phone jack, just quietness, escapism. Have a seat, I tell Anaya. Her eyes are red, eyelids swollen, but I pretend not to see. You look whipped, she tells me. Yeah, it's been a tough few days. I can't imagine. I flinched. I know Anaya isn't being sarcastic, but sarcasm is what I hear. She could smile and say, "Have a nice day," and to me, it would sound like, "Go fuck yourself and die." I think it's time for us to deal with a few things here, I tell her. Hmm. And thanks for setting up the nursery. That's very sweet of you, Anaya. I hadn't thought of that. Anaya grunts. I start whistling and shuffling papers. Doing this is as uncomfortable as going through my performance evaluation at work. Look, Anaya, I think things may get better for us. We're going to give it our all, right? We've gotten through the pregnancy, the birth, so maybe we can also get through rearing 2 kids. Anaya's baggy eyes widen. I don't mean you. I don't mean that you're gonna be like a stepmom. I mean, I don't even know what to call this. But I do want to be in the kid's life. Let's face it, having sex and getting Danielle pregnant already is a done deal. Her eyes widen even more. I know the situation feels awkward to all involved, I explained calmly, but I refuse to let my kid grow up not knowing who his daddy is. If that happens, it's not going to be because I want it to be. I wanted to. I know you want to be in his life. I appreciate your honesty, Anaya says. Her voice sounds gentle. Thankfully, exhaled. Anaya's a rare woman. I realize it's been hand on you, babe, I remarked. You've gone through a lot, much more than any woman should ever have to. Every day I blame myself, she says, her voice rising. But you're at fault too. If you would have stuck to that just eating her pussy instead of Anaya, please, I stand up and take one step towards her. I'm sorry, Anaya, okay? I don't know what else to tell you except I messed up. Don't forget how long it had been since I've been inside of you, right? You're right, Neil. Now I know it's unrealistic to think a man could stick to just kissing a woman, letting her give you a blowjob every once in a while, and leave it at that. You blew it, Neil. And it's hard to get past that. Well, Anaya, as hard as it is, for our sake, you might have to. I'll admit I've made mistakes, but I do, but I do, what? But I really, oh, but do I really have to hear about them every single day like this? I'm scared I might do something I regret. As if there could be anything else, Anaya laughs sarcastically. I guess she thinks that's a zinger that will put me in my place. I don't feel like fighting her. So I picked up the day's newspaper and read the headline out loud. Father brings kid into the basement, shoots them, and commits suicide. Wonder what brought that on. I don't eat. No, don't even try it. Things between us will never be like that bad. I don't have a gun, and I hope you don't either. Black folks don't do things like that anyway. It's not a white thing, Anaya. Pain doesn't have a color. She doesn't say anything. The man was in deep pain, I explained. Look at if you are in pain, I don't see how you got a fabulous, adoring sex partner and a brand new kid from the deal. But when I got Anaya is off the couch and in my face. I sit back down. She points a finger, something she knows I can't stand. If she weren't so polite, her weight would look sexy. But because she barely 5'3", her weight gain makes her look pudgy. I stare at her, having nothing to say. Now she's waving her hands on wide circles. Hey, she stared at her, having nothing to say. Now she's waving her hands in wide circles. Her head is moving back and forth. When a woman comes in irate mode, it's pretty much over. I let my wife scream. She swore I wouldn't hear her again. I am tempted to get a broom. What? Shove it in her hand and push her towards the kitchen so that she can use her energy to clean up instead of mouthing off. But my actions might make her angrier, so I pretend that I'm listening and making like I care about her ramblings. She goes on and on until her voice becomes a moan, until the weight of her world causes her to collapse on the sofa until she faces in a swollen river. And my heart is a deep hole that overflows with our despair. That night, Anaya blows up at me. I sleep in the library on the sofa. This is nothing new. It's been more than 2 years since sofa, and I have become well acquainted. Sofa is always there. It doesn't avoid me when it's mad. Sofa stays silent when I need to talk about things out loud. Sure, I can run over to Danny's when Anaya breaks into her hissy fits, but many nights I resist. Running a easy staying is hard. If I force myself to do things I don't want to do, there I'm a developing character. And the older I become, the harder it gets to develop. That's why so many 40, 50s, and 60-year-old men still act like 20-year-olds. As long as they're been on this earth, they still lack the patience required to be a person of integrity. Every day I've tried to be a perfect man, and after trying hard and failing, I now realize I'm not without error. Who is? But as bad as things seem between me and Anaya, I know I do many things right. Going to work every day, paying bills on time, moving the lawn. mowing the lawn and keeping my fists from making contact with Anaya counts from something. At least I pray it does. What? Is he trying to hit her? Yeah. Oh, he trying to hit her. What are you talking about? Okay, I wake up to the feeling of water being sprinkled on my cheeks. Get up, sleepyhead. I shift on the sofa and turn towards Vet, annoying voice. For someone who hates me, she always in my face. Vet, stop playing, okay? I yawn using my hands. I rub lukewarm water off my cheeks. What time is it? 6:45. You're gonna be late. Oh, okay. I sit up. Maybe there's hope for Vet in me. Waking me up shows she can watch my back. I actually did oversleep, and I wanted to return to work because I already took 2 vacation days this week. Now more than ever, my job becomes important. I don't want anything to happen, not even being late, to threaten that. I make it. on I make it to work on time and really to return to an environment in which I have some measures of control. I'm a business manager in the facilities department at one of the colleges. And in Mid Center, my job is to oversee construction, project management, and budget related matters for capital projects. All incoming calls are routed through our receptionist, Kyra. She checks in with me a few hours go to work. Hi Neil, welcome back. Please hold while I forward this call. Thanks, Kyra. Neil Meadows here. I answered. I don't hear anything at first. It sounds like someone is handling another person. Hey, her voice is gentle yet firm, strong yet weak. Hey, you. I take a moment to close and lock my office door. Sorry about the slight pause, Danny says. I had someone else ask for you. Oh, I understand. I cleared my throat. How are you doing? Fine. Could be better, though. I hear cooling in the background. My heart's turned. I could sniff and imagine how my baby smells like fresh powder. I envision his tiny hands, remembering how humbling it felt when he seized my finger, his second day on earth. You got you got anyone helping you? Your mama? Yep, she's still here. I wish she'd fly. Oh, y'all, hold on real second. Hold on, don't hang up. Okay, my apologies. My alarm is going off, yeah. Okay, so back to where we were. He was on the phone with Danny. So Neil was on the phone with Danny. Danny is the girlfriend. Okay, so he was basically asking her, did she have help with the baby, their baby boy, and she said, yeah, her mom is still there. So he's like, I wish she'll fly back to Long Beach though. No, she's like, she wants her mom to go back home. She's about to drive me crazy. Mama's either talking too loud or asking me questions while I'm trying to sleep. And she holds the baby too much. I grin and visualize the scene I hadn't been able to witness. Danny, it's her first grandson. Let her play. Grandma, okay? I know, but I wish you were here with us right now. Her voice, thick with desire, makes me feel I am there. I swallow deeply and rub my forehead, which is coated with sweat. You know, some hair-raising thing is happening when a person's sweat voice alone arouses you. Although it feels good, like healing warmth passing through me, I hate that this woman can steer me this way. I wish I could control what should not control me. How about this weekend? I asked softly. Can you wait till then? Danny remains quiet, but her unspoken thoughts engulf the silence. I think about how rapidly kids develop. Even 6-year-old Reese is growing and gaining in knowledge. She's learning about Argentina and how to mix yellow and green watercolors to create blue. Reese can even pluck out a few recognizable tunes on our piano, the same piano I used to practice chopsticks on when I was a boy. Seeing the kids grow up is important, especially since my dad passed when I was 4. If it weren't for the phone my mom had squirreled away in a cabinet, I barely remember his face. Oh, it's the photos. It seems odd to ache for something you've never had, but I've missed having my father. His absence makes me more determined to do right by my offspring, especially since my mother's been acting flaky. First by treating my sister like she's a burden, and then by asking her to leave. And once my mom heard about Danny and I did, she weirdly threw up her hands, distancing herself from more stressful family drama. The combination of no father and mom's recent antics makes me resolve to stay on top of my newborn's progress. I love him already, so why wouldn't I spend time with him, rock him in my arms, and let him know I'm his daddy? Neil, Danny says, if I have no other alternative than to wait, then that's what I'll do. But I also called to say thanks. You didn't have to show up at the hospital. I was shocked when you did. When you told a couple of coworkers you were there out of support, I almost cracked up laughing. I wonder if they believed you. I don't care what they believe. Oh, but you do in a way, Neil. You do, right? Right? She passes. I guess you're still not ready to. Danny, please, as keyed up as her sweat voice, as no, sorry, as keyed up as her sweet voice makes me feel, I'm ready to get off the phone. She sucks in her breath. I know. I'm sorry. Guess my postpartum worries are kicking in. Postpartum or not. You promised not to go there. That I will make this work. Be mature with no drama, remember? She sniffs. I hear more cooing, cooing. That sounds like it's coming from an adorable kitten. Yeah, Neil, I am mature. You'll see, I'm gonna be different than these other silly hoes out there. I can't handle my business. I'm gonna handle it. My promises sounding like she's trying to convince herself as much as she's attempting to convince me. So I tell her, I'm gonna have to run, but you don't need anything today, right? No, she says in a quiet voice. Don't need anything today. At the end of that week, I stopped at Sam's Club before going home. After standing in a long line and finally being handed my purchase, I drive home and pull into my two-door attached garage. I walk in the house, quietly stepping on the carpet and hide the package behind my back. My wife in the kitchen, dish rag in hand, wiping crumbs off the island counter. This room is her usual spot after 5 o'clock in the evening. We have an open kitchen, wooden shelving, double stainless steel sink, and a rug placed near the refrigerator decorated with red and white lettering that reads, There's no place like home. Tonight's first level smells like baked chicken, collard greens, pinto beans, mac and cheese, and homemade cornbread. When Anaya sees me, or rather the box, she throws down the dish rag. I wave the box at her as if to say, Yes, it's yours. She grins and covers her mouth with shaking fingers. Then she removes the ring from the box and lets me place it on her right hand. It's a ring she's seen and admired a while ago. 18 karat gold with three sparkle diamonds. It reeks of elegance. This piece set me back 3,000 buckaroos. MasterCard handled it for me though. Thank God for MasterCard. Ooh, I love it, she strikes. But why you get this, Neil? Love. She burst out laughing, her perfect teeth showing. My heart wants to melt at seeing her smile. I know that she deserves this and more. Dang, Neil. That sounds so corny, but oh well. It's mine, and I'm not giving it back. Anaya holds out her hand, waving it back and forth, and for more stunned looks. She laughs, then presses her soft lips against my mouth. Her lips hadn't touched mine in months. I'm not sure if I should act surprised or enjoy it. I just turn and walk away. Sunday morning, I'm adjusting my necktie. I asked Anaya for my black leather Oxfords. I'm upset because I couldn't convince Anaya to come to Solomon's temple. Her church attendance is spotty and that bothers me. We're in a master bath which has a wide mirror and a stripped fixture of lights. Anaya stands in the doorway and sets my shoes on the floor. Anaya, you sure you don't want to come? Nope, You go and go. You need Jesus way more than me. I look in the mirror and start to say something so evil it would cause me to repent. But instead, I slipped on my shoes. The doughy leather feels like a blanket covering my feet. I brush past Anaya and stand next to the bed. I stuffed my wallet in my back pocket and grabbed my little black Bible with the the frayed ends. I turned to my wife. What will you be doing while I'm at church serving the Lord? I'll be right here waiting on you when you get back. If the spirit of the Lord touches you during service, I sure hope I can recognize you when you walk through the door. She laughs, waves, and leaves the room. Listening to her cutting remarks makes me feel like a fool, like I am grape she's stepping on. During my drive to church, I wondered what price I could pay that will make her forgive all my mistakes. Because if we're going to have a reasonable chance to move forward and rebuild our marriage, Anaya will have to stop always bringing up the past. I enter church, feet treading softly, try not to be noticed. I settled into my padded seat in a row at the back of the sanctuary. I am about 30 minutes late and the front section filled up fast. Pastor London P. Solomon is dressed in a majestic purple robe. He's standing in a pulpit, but not for long. He steps down onto the floor, clutching the microphone, paces down the center aisle, and stares people in the eye. In a few millennium, there's far too much compromise. In those days in America, the new standard is don't apprehend any standard. Remember these 70s and 80s? I know I do. We're kind of reverting back to that mentality. Do what you want to do. It's your prerogative. If you feel good, do it. Well, I'm here to tell you I did. It felt good, and now I wish I could get rid of it. I shifted my seat and thumped my Bible against my leg. Tell the truth. Have you ever had the urge to do something you knew in your heart wasn't good for you, but you convinced yourself to do it anyway? Maybe you thought it would be cool because your homeboy does it. You say if your if your boy Cedric can drink and drive without getting into an accident, then you know you can hold down a few 40s and drive down to Galveston without getting pulled over. Is anybody in the house today? Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. I chuckle, along with everyone else, but there's a little to laugh about. I know where this is going and wonder why I even bothered to show up for church. I go to worship service because I need my soul to be enhanced and my soul to be cleansed. I want to wash away my flaws to be assured that no matter how many problems I have, the Lord is going to magically work them out. And sometimes when Pastor Solomon preaches, we get dessert, a feel good message that assures us that things between us and God are a okay. But other times, our spiritual daddy feeds us those nasty vegetables. They're beneficial for us, but they sure don't taste all that great. The devil is suitable. Like a dripping faucet, he slowly pushes off his destructive ideas into society. His main tool of doing his dirt is the media: TV, novels, music, movies, newspapers, and magazines. Think I'm lying? He has people going from saying homosexuality is a sin to these people can do whatever they want to do as long as they don't mess with me. And now we have all these new fangled shows airing on primetime TV. We got gay cruises, gay bookstores, gay weddings, what? Gay bubblegum, And just because hordes of people are doing this, then it's normal and acceptable. But I'm here to tell you that there's a better answer. I want to jump up and run out the church. I'm not a homosexual or anything close to that, but when the preacher starts talking about sin, any sin, I feel like he's talking about me. I wonder if he's the dark things I'm doing will be brought to light. I dread Pastor Soul walking down the aisle, stopping at my pew, pointing and saying, "Come up here," by looking at me. No one in the church can even guess I committed adultery and had fathered a baby with another woman. Sometimes I wonder if I should quit going to church altogether. If I simply stop going, would anyone even notice or care? Don't get me wrong, church, the Lord does love us. He is merciful and long suffering, but we can't throw away his standards just because a million Martian people claim something is acceptable. We can't listen. We can't start listening to judges who enact laws that support immorality. No, church. We cannot allow a man to declare what is great when man is not the true determiner of what's right or wrong. I shut out my pastor voice. I began daydreaming, doodling on the church bulletin, and thinking about what I'm eating for dinner. The door at my the door of my heart sounds like it's closing, and I am too scared to listen for the final slam. Chapter 3, my babies. And this still is Neil, okay? Neil said, I'm standing in the dining room reading the newspaper when Anaya says, Neil, what the hell is this? Huh? Oh, this is what I wanted to talk to you about the other night. I see. Anaya stares at the typewriter sheet of paper and reads Amendment of Marital Arrangement of Neil Braxton Meadows and his wife Anaya. It's blank, Neil. I know. I want to discuss some additional clause with you before I actually put them in writing. Oh, really? I don't know. I don't like how this sounds. Don't be scared about Anaya. You may add one or two or your own if that would make you feel better. I feel like this just isn't working anyway. We agreed to other things in the past and only a few of those worked. Anaya is referring to the fact that we have other contracted aspects to our marriage, like the ones that she'll cook for me 5 days a week. I'll take the family out to dinner twice a week, and I'll pay her a nice percent once a month. Something gift wrapped and not just an item, a shopping bag. Sometimes we stick to that arrangement, other times we don't. Sighing, I lay the newspaper on the dining room table and take a seat. Anaya's eyelids are puffy, like she's been up all night. I'm not. I now realize jury can't extinguish a woman's worries. I couldn't. Why I couldn't learn that before going in debt to buy 3 grand. Neil, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. But why are we doing all this? What are we trying to prove? That I'm the noble and long suffering wife and you're the responsible father who made a mistake but wants to do right by his son? Who are we doing who are we doing this for, Neil? What are you trying to say? I think because you're trying so hard to get it right on paper, we're neglecting who we really are. What we really feel on in the inside. I'm not following you. Neil, if I write down I love Neil Meadows, a husband, times, but treat you like a dirt every day, would my declaration mean much to you? Like, what's the point of the word if there's not lining up with real life actions? Anaya, I'm trying to do the best I can. I don't want to get a divorce. I don't. Who said anything about a divorce? Okay, scratch that. Poor choice of words. Is that what you're thinking, Neil? Is that what we should do this? Her voice is shaky. Like, as bad as things are, she's never complimented divorce and wouldn't know what to do if things went there. Sometimes I feel like she hates to be hurt but doesn't know how not to hurt. The fact that she sometimes dwells on the negative aspects of what happened makes me think she enjoys the torture of pain, something I don't understand. Come in. No, baby, if I wanted. Hey. We just we wait on people. We need watching ready. Oh my god. Then you want to take the whole thing? Or did you want to come in there or you want me to bring it to you? Okay, yeah. Whenever you're done, all because it's my take. Y'all only got 2 more pages. We're finishing up chapter 3 right now. Okay. We said, okay, back to where we were. I'm sorry, y'all. We're over here. And I'm trying to do the best I can. I don't want to get a divorce. She said, I'm saying something about a divorce. Baby, she started clicking her feet, tapping her toes. She don't want her lungs to go away. She not playing. Why? You say the D word. Okay. Here we go. Sometimes I feel like she hates to be hurt, but doesn't know how not to hurt. The fact that she sometimes dwells on the negative aspects of what happened makes me think she enjoys the torture of pain. Something I don't understand. No, baby. If I wanted to end this, I wouldn't be here now. Would I? I wouldn't bust my tail every day at work trying to make enough money so you can continue to stay at home and raise our daughter. A lot of wives would kill for that. They they say they're happy they're working and bringing home a second paycheck, but women are dead dog tired. I see them. I see them on my job. Then they have the long fancy titles, are driving the luxury cars, but you're going to see frowns on their faces 7 out of 8 hours. They're popping Prozacs, trying to cope with stress and being in the corporate world, raising their kids and wanting to please their men. So I hope you appreciate all that I do. Anaya stands up. Her eyes are blazing so bright. I want to cover my eyes. No, you did not say that, Neil. Sometimes I can't believe you, and I guess you want a freaking award or something. She takes a full walk around our dining room table and steps at my face. You know what? The award I really want to give you hasn't been invented yet. Process that. When a man loves a woman, the world seems brand new. Sounds cliche, but it's true. 10 years ago, when I first started dating Anaya, I didn't want to talk to anyone else, male or female, except her. What are you doing? I asked her on the phone. Going away for the weekend? To Fort Worth. With? Nobody, she remembered. Stop joking, Anaya. I'm not joking. I'm driving up there just to hang out with a cousin. No big deal. Her independence capitalized me. Okay. What? Captivity. Captivity? Cap, oh. My apologies, y'all. Her independence captivated me. I was impressed she was sitting around waiting for the phone to ring. And when she come back from her weekend, she never called me the minute she got in the house. She waited for me to call first. I like that. So Anaya, if a guy wants to date with you, does he have to call like a month in advance? She laughed. If a certain guy plays his cards right, he might not have to wait a month to see a certain woman. Is that certain woman available this weekend? Depends on what that certain man wants to do. Will Keith Sweat, Joe Levert, and Jimmy Gill will be in concert. Ah, ah, ah. When she started screaming on the phone and not caring that she might sound stupid, I knew I made her happy. And making her happy made me happy. So we hooked up. Back then, Anaya let me be the chaser. We'll go to a restaurant of her choice, but she'll trust me enough to order her for her. She relinquished the trust to see how much I knew her, to see if I was listening when she told me. I love salad. I love salmon. Omelets filled with mushrooms, tomatoes, sausage, and clam chowder. I smiled, just down mental notes, writing them down. And her pumped when she when I passed her little test. Every woman tests her potential man at some point to see where his head is and to identify his priorities. Now back in the day, Anaya's body was stacked, not so huge that she needed me to help her step out the car every time, but not so skinny that you'll wonder if she was strong out on crack. No, back then Anaya was just right. She had a little wiggly, but wiggly in her jiggly. Okay, her waist was smaller, but she was modest to go around exposing her belly and wearing form-fitting clothes. And her hair was longer too. Before she let Phyllis and the hairdresser convince her to get a shorter, more sophisticated cut. Neil, do you like how this looks? Be honest. She smiled and cocked her head. At first, I zeroed in on her yummy tasting lips, but then gazed at her fixed cut. Sure, sure, you look good. She did look good, even if I prefer longer hair. You bet not be lying, Neil. Could you tell if I were? If your eyes start twitching, yeah, I could tell. After that, whenever she asks me one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't questions, I'll close my eyes and answer, Neil. She screamed and playfully hit me in the shoulder. Then she'll laugh and not make an issue out of uh, superficial things. I love that. I love her. And even though things have gotten way bizarre, I still love her. Why? Anaya Meadows have some old fashioned things about her. When we sit down for dinner, I know nothing I'm about to eat is from a box or a can. She loves the feeling of raw vegetables and enjoys flavoring up a dish with all kind of extras like vanilla powder and hot cocoa or lemon peels for my fish or ground. So what? What? Okay. Something she gonna start. She's throwing a large pot of stew, so it's some type of spice that she used. Okay, when she first started dating, she invited me to her small apartment. I was sitting in her tiny wooden table reading the newspaper until she appeared beside me holding a spoon. Here, Neil, eat this. What is it? Just eat it. How do I know you're trying to trust me? You know unless you eat it. I hesitated, but my willingness to trust her would make me open my mouth. One time, Anaya shoved a large plastic spoon dripping with the thick brown sauce, some meat, and mushrooms. That girl loves mushrooms. And I started chewing. How did it taste? I closed my eyes, patted my belly. Tastes great, Anaya. Neil. I opened my eyes, burped. It's the bomb. You good, baby. She smiled and blushed, which is pretty easy to make her do back then. All I had to do was call Anaya baby, and I get a nice smile. These days, I wondered if roping and a carefree loveliness of the past would be enough to get Anaya and me over this lump. In my mind, little Neil and Danny are just humps. They are issues that are potentially life changing, yet don't have to be. Not if Anaya and I can handle this, right? And if I have to pay her a compliment to lift her spirits or call her baby 5 times a day, I would maybe bring back a little bit of the past, and I will hope it will be effective enough to ease us into a smoother future. I know I read that fast, y'all, because I was in shock. So what's going on is chapter 2 and 3 was about Neil, and basically Neil was telling his side of the story on how he feels. Neil feels lost because he loves his wife so much, but of course, seeing her in pain every day after he comes from work and seeing those other single women in pain, he feels as though, okay, well, I can make some arrangements at home so that I can see my son as well as make my wife happy by buying her $3,000 worth of jewelry and stuff like that and still giving her her allowance that he already promised in their contract, I guess, when they got married. I don't think that she's happy with the situation still, and I don't think that she's gonna be able to get over it at this point, due to it just happened. So with him setting up that arrangement, I don't know. They never said exactly what was on it. Well, it wasn't nothing on it, but they never said what was Neil next. Like, what was his next? What was he about to do next for him to sit there and have this arrangement? So Anaya still is in her feelings, but I didn't know that she was a stay-at-home mom or a housewife. And that right there could be the reason why he sees her with her eyes swollen every day. And she needs to get out and touch some grass. So I thank everybody for coming to listen to the book. I will be going live again for chapter 4, which next will be Anaya again, explaining how she feels. Um, excuse me, put in a comment below if you want me to put both chapter 1 and 2 together. But yes, I do feel as though Neil is not on the bandwagon of still like stepping out of his marriage. I feel as though that he's wanting to stay cordial so that he could re reestablish his marriage with his wife like in a happier state. And I don't feel like it will be because she doesn't want to be sexual with him. She doesn't even want to be, as you can tell, she doesn't even want to be affectionate. Did you get the clapper? You was a mess. I'm about to get it because you ask me. You think it's easy to go live there? I'm again. But I'm gonna work on that next because I think I'm still on live on TikTok, but I'm on automatic over there because I want to read to you all here at 7. So I'm gonna get off of here, and I love y'all, and I will see y'all next time. And I'm gonna inbox you again. Love y'all.